Welcome to a special episode of Fogbuster.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Today we're going to do a Road to the Oscars, kind of a tribute episode. We all know who won. Brendan Fraser,
Little Jamie Lee Curtis.
little Michelle Yeoh.
And Ki-Hoo Kwan.
I'm a Goonies lover.
Yeah.
Those that know me know that, the Goonies is a huge representation of how I've lived my life. And so Goonies never say die.
Favorite.
It is. It's honestly one of those almost perfect movies.
It's one of those, if you don't like the Goonies, man, I don't know if we could be friends.
Yeah, that is probably a deal
game
breaker.
changer right there.
It'd be like saying Ninja Turtles or Ghostbusters or, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie kind of thing,
If I was ever, back in my single days, if I were ever on MTV's Next, I would ask that question. They would get
That's
next.
a great
if they
question.
said no.
So with that said, Data in the Goonies, he also did Indiana Jones. He was it Short Round?
Mm-hmm.
Short Round in Indiana Jones and in Temple of Doom. Then he went quiet, It sucks that what happened to him happened, just like Brendan Fraser and Michelle Yeoh and even Jamie Lee in a way. They all went through this, through the system that is Hollywood. So I'm glad that he came back. I know he came around to a couple of cons a couple of years ago, and I really wish I had the opportunity. I really wanted to. He was in Fayetteville a couple of years ago. Congratulations to you, Ki-Hoo Kwan. We wish you nothing but the best. We look forward to it. Hopefully, because I know that your manager is Chunk himself, I hope that you guys can somehow wrangle up the gang together and maybe do at least a Disney reunion special or something.
Something. Make it happen.
Don't even do a sequel. Don't even do a whole generational sequel. Encino Man, it's got Sean Astin in it. I'll break it down easy for you. Sean Astin and Pauly Shore are buddies. They are digging something in the backyard. I think they're building a pool or something at his house. And they find a huge, giant, frozen icicle with a man in it. So what a normal person does, and science says, is just stick them in a garage and let them melt away. And out pops Brendan Fraser in the 90s of Southern California, LA, with Sean Astin and Pauly Shore guiding him the way, and it's adorable. Does it hold up since that time? Nah, it doesn't really hold, but it's still a classic 90s comedy movie that I highly recommend, and it was, it wasn't necessarily Brendan Fraser's breakout performance. I could cut that at School Ties, being his breakout, along with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who were also in the film. Great film, very tough film, very relevant film to today too. Check it out, y'all. But with that said, we're gonna transition into at least my man in the cinematic masterpiece that is The Mummy, Brendan Fraser. So The Mummy.
If you've never seen The Mummy.
I mean, The Mummy is almost a perfect film.
Another it's up there with the Goonies. If you don't like The Mummy, if you don't like The Mummy 2, both are right up there with some of the best movies ever made.
Arnold Vosloo.
I'll even go as far as saying Mummy 3 is not terrible. It's kind of it's got a lot of misses.
But it does have
Michelle.
Congratulations, Michelle. You went from The Mummy 3
to Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. The Mummy 3 to Best Actress of the Year.
But at least after The Mummy 3, she did, or was it before, where she was a Bond girl. She was actually a Bond girl. Tomorrow Never Dies.
She was, yes.
With
one of the
Pierce
original
Brosnan.
Bond girls,
With Pierce Brosnan's era. So that's really cool. That's a good James Bond film. Do you remember much of that one?
I actually don't, but it's the only one I ever saw that I liked.
It was the news one. It was about the guy trying to control the news.
I remember watching this one in Atlanta with my dad when we went to a NASCAR race that got rained out. So that one kind of sticks home to my heart.
That's awesome. Good core memory there. So congratulations, Michelle, on all that success for you. And then which rolls us to our girl from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh man.
Who doesn't love Jamie Lee Curtis?
Man, she just gets better with age.
Tell me a movie you didn't like her in. I'm waiting.
Oh man, I'm really trying.
I'll wait.
We love Freaky Friday. Halloween, even the new ones, the best part are Jamie Lee Curtis.
She is.
Um,
Even though the new one sucked.
Fish Called Wanda was a classic. There's this amazing movie with her and John Travolta. You should look it up. It's called, I believe it's called Perfect 10 or something like that. But there's this awesome scene of her and John Travolta in like 80s spandex, just like working out, thrusting back and forth. It's amazing. As far as Jamie Lee Curtis goes, I'm glad she won a Best Supporting Actress award. She's well deserved of at least some sort of recognition for everything she's brought to us as fans through the years. My favorite films of hers, Halloween H2O was probably my favorite Halloween of modern times, even better than the new ones. And then I would say, Freaky Friday is a classic for me. That one holds at the heart. And it's also a great family film.
I'm gonna go with the very beginning, man. It's gonna stay with Halloween for me. The very first girl in the horror movie that we all remember.
Yeah. She's on Mount Rushmore of Final Girls. You can't ever take that away from her.
We talk about Terrifier 2 and Laura Lavera. Without Jamie Lee Curtis, there would be no Laura Lavera.
So with that said, congratulations to all the nominees and winners this year. There were some good films. There were some films that I'm glad I didn't see win. There were some films that I'm kind of mad did win.
I think the right people won.
Absolutely. I think that's one thing we can all agree on.
Oscars got it right this year.
Yeah, exactly, for the first time in a while. Ke Huy Quan, Brendan Fraser, Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis. Cheers to y'all, man. Cheers. I hope y'all have a wonderful one. And to everybody watching, thank you. Thank you for tuning in.